So if you have not been following, we live our lives through Aaron Rodgers. And maybe you missed this. The Jets quarterback doing his weekly paid appearance on the YouTube show responded to a report that he has plans for 2025, but those plans do not include the Jets. Rodgers was asked about a report from Diana Rossini there, who said that he wants to continue playing but does not want to play for the Jets. Anyway, Rodgers, he had a lot to say. Let's take a listen.
I haven't told anybody in my life that I want to play in 2025 and not on the Jets. That's 100% false. I actually said the opposite. I'm going to wait and see what happens with at the end of the season and if they want me back.
All right, so he said it's 100% false, and I haven't said this to anybody, blah, 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 blah. I wants to wait what happens at the end of the year. All right, so let us discuss the question. Aaron Rodgers saying that he has not decided on playing in 2025, but the Jets, he also said in this, it would be the first option. He didn't say he'd eliminate the Jets. Later on, he said the Jets would be the first option. So what do you make of all this? So I've got Farmer's Almanac, Handbook, and the Hands Team. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a nice long vacation to the Amazon to have ayahuasca, which Aaron Rodgers will have plenty of time for in January when the Jets are not in the playoffs, and Rodgers can go on his merry way with Joe Rogan and go have all kinds of toad venom and do whatever you want. So number one. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, at this point, say it with me now, kids, is a content creator. That's what he is. He's a content creator. We read that he gets paid over $1 million a year. Over $1 million a year to go on that YouTuber Pat McAfee show. So he's got to bring something to the table. And 1 week, it was Aaron Rodgers essentially saying that he plans to play in 2025. So that was the headline. Rodgers planning on coming back in 2025, having fun despite the Jets having problems. The next week, I don't know about that. Maybe. We'll see. Not so sure. So what you have to do here in a situation like this, you have to check the Farmer's Almanac. The Farmer's Almanac, because Rodgers is like the weather. Especially the weather in the Midwest. If you don't like the weather in Chicago, as they say, you just wait a few minutes, the weather will change. And Rodgers saying in this interview with McAfee that the Jets are his first option, which he did state later on, that is what's known, kids, as a technicality. You know what I'm saying? You feel me on that? It's a technicality because you have to read the fine print. Let me explain. Rodgers is technically under contract with the Jets for the 2025 season. However, as I understand it, there is no guarantee. There is no guaranteed money. So while technically he is contractually bound to the Jets, Rodgers does not have any guaranteed money, which means it is a mere formality. It is a paperwork move to get rid of Aaron Rodgers if you are the Jets. And we know, for better or worse, and we know the answer to that, worse, Aaron Rodgers is forever tied to Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh. They're both gone in terms of employment by the Jets. They're still getting paid by the Jets, but Robert Saleh shopping at Whole Foods in Jersey and Joe Douglas eating a hoagie in Lower Manhattan, but they're not working for the Jets. They are not at this particular point. So there is no guaranteed money, which means that Rodgers will likely be let go at some point, maybe a post-June 1st roster cut. So we know they're going to bring in a new coach. They're going to bring in a new GM. They hired Mike Tannenbaum, the old GM, to try to figure things out. A new broom sweeps clean, right? Bring in somebody new. They want to put their own mark. They don't want the trash left over. It's like you buy a house and they leave some old furniture in the house. You're like, I don't want that furniture. I'm going to send that to the dump, or I'm going to put it on offer up. I'm going to get rid of it, put it on Craigslist, and I'm going to get my own furniture. All right, now page 2. But wait, there's more. Aaron Rodgers denying denying widespread speculation that he decided to play injured and that he didn't want to get certain tests done. There's a story that bounced around over the weekend that Rodgers played injured, that he was worried that he was going to get tested and then the Jets would find a reason to shut him down, that he resisted some medical scans that coulda, shoulda, woulda been done. The veteran quarterback Rodgers said that, quote, he says, I know my body, he said, better than anybody. And there's no mandate, Rodgers stated, on getting those tests done. He also questioned the journalistic integrity of the report. He loves to do that. That is a go-to for Aaron Rodgers, like sports journalism has any integrity. Anyway, but Rodgers was all worked up into a tizzy. So Aaron Rodgers denying a report that he resisted the Jets' medical scans, worried about a possible benching. Your thoughts on these latest developments? So my thought on this, right? I'm not eating. Rodgers is making dinner, and I'm not eating what he's serving for dinner. And here's why. The body language. You know, I'm a big body language guy, and it is a dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. I go by the FBI Handbook on Lying. The FBI Handbook on Lying, it was written a few years ago, and when Rodgers was talking, he was on the YouTube show with McAfee, while saying he didn't turn down scans, what was Aaron Rodgers doing? Do you know what he was doing? Rodgers was rapidly blinking. He was blinking over and over and over. You know what that is? That is a tell. That is an absolute tell. According to the FBI Handbook on Lying, when someone is stressed out from lying, oftentimes people will blink in rapid succession. They'll also look down to the right. There's certain things that we do that are animalistic, right? Going back to the lizard brain, if you will. And there's things that we do that we don't even realize we're doing, and it's a dead giveaway. All right, now, final point. We pivot away from Aaron Rodgers, and we head now to Motown, where the NFL's top team plays their games on Thanksgiving. The Lions playing yet again, as they do every year, on Thanksgiving. And unlike in many years in my life, the Lions are the team you want to watch, and the Cowboys are the team you don't want to watch. So Jameson Williams, who? Jameson Williams, that's a wide receiver. He had a 64-yard touchdown play in Detroit's game the other day, crossed the goal line there. And if you remember, if you saw the highlight there, Jameson Williams, how did he celebrate? He had an homage. He had a tribute to Marshawn Lynch. Now, what was his tribute? He grabbed his crotch, twig and berries, right there as he went into the end zone, flying into the end zone. And a nice, big, firm grip right there on the junk as he went into the end zone, honoring the Seattle Seahawk and Raider and Buffalo Bill legend from back in the day, Marshawn Lynch. Now, I bring this up because Jameson Williams was docked almost $20,000 from the league. They deemed that to be an obscene gesture. Apparently, you're not allowed to grab your sausage when you're going into the end zone. That is a no-no in the NFL. So I bring this up because the NFL social media wing, they used a screenshot of Williams holding on tightly to his junk as he went into the end zone there to celebrate as a thumbnail on that particular game. Now, that got the attention of Lions head coach Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell, who gets you to go to Applebee's. Dan Campbell took a shot at the NFL over that. The Lions coach, if you didn't see what he said it depends on what gesture that is, whether the league let it happen. Right? Campbell quizzed the media. They'll use whatever they need to for content, Campbell snickered to the media. So where are you at on Dan Campbell, the head coach in Motown, taking a bit of a shot, indirect shot at the NFL for using the Jameson Williams touchdown holding the sausage celebration that he was fined for. What do you make of Dan Campbell and his condemnation of the NFL? So it right off the bat, it's obviously you stand by your player, right? That's your guy. You're in this together. You support your players. Like, you got fined $19,697 for that, but the NFL is using that to promote the product. So there's obviously a disconnect. But really the story here is that the NFL is such a conglomerate. It's an 800-pound gorilla, the NFL. It is so large here that it's the hands team. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. And you've got the social media wing, which I'm imagining are a bunch of people right out of college, because the NFL, all the boomers, or they're all the people in their late 40s and 50s are like, let's hire some kid out of college. They know the social media, so they're in charge of the social media. And then you've got the rules committee on one side on Park Avenue. So you've got social media here, you get the rules committee over here, and they have nothing in common. The people that are on the rules committee, the people that take care of adjudicate the punishment, the integrity of the shield, they want nothing to do with the online people, the social media people. And so the right hand does not know what the left hand is doing. But this is not the first time, nor will it be the last time that something like this has happened. In fact, it happens semi-regularly where something slips under the radar of one department and goes to the other department, and we're off to the races.